when I was coming up, I had OGs that helped me out. But in hip hop, it was such a weird time in the scene in Hawaii where the guys almost didn't like us. The older guys didn't give us our due. And so we were like, when I was getting into the hip hop scene, and this is why battling became big for us, I wanted respect. Nobody was giving the West Side guy respect. So I'm like, whatever. Then it's battle. Battling is where you meet one-on-one with some other MC and you just spit at each other to see who's doper, right? There was another MC, Big Mox at the time, who was a dope MC as well. And like, we had met in this massive tournament. It was 2 days long. Jin was hosting. And they had 32 MCs. And me and him were battling through our sides of the bracket until we realized, like, throughout the tournament, we realized, like, okay, that's the fucking guy I'm going to end up battling, right? And then we got head-to-head. Long story short, I took a L. He beat me. And we kept battling. But the older heads didn't like that we kept battling, and none of them wanted to battle us. And they wouldn't open doors for us. There would be no kind of, like, love shown. Almost like they would look down on what we were doing. And so we didn't like that older generation. It's like, okay, well, screw you guys. Then we're just going to do our own thing and just continue celebrating the culture of hip-hop. And I can't speak for Mox, but for me, I'm like, okay, when the younger guys come up, we're going to open our doors. Because these fuckers never open up their doors for us. And from there, we just started cultivating all kinds of, like, young MCs. We had these ciphers underneath Halava. Do you know where Ice Palace is? So there's a freeway bridge where we'd meet up like church every Sunday night. And there'd be like a whole bunch of random cars that pull up. One of them would turn on their sounds, bang some instrumentals, and everybody just raps.
Oh, is that where I saw a music video? I'm guessing that's where it was.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. I think it was the local. Everybody was like this.
Yeah.
That was the place?
Flip the Angry Bird, yeah.
Flip the Angry Bird, yeah.
That was at the Cypher.
Oh, okay.
And
nice.
that Cypher, like, every Sunday we'd have it. Sometimes we'd have 20 people. Sometimes we'd have 100.
Wow.
Just random cars, people drinking, people smoking, and just celebrating the culture, you know, getting to know each other, fighting each other, you know.
I bet.
But at the end of the day, it was just a place for hip-hop to thrive, you know. And that was something that our generation was very proud of, you know, because now the younger cats know, okay, well, you know, it has a trickle-down effect. Like, they helped us. This young homie wants to do something. I better go help them. And the same goes for any kind of family culture, Hawaiian culture, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah, like giving back just because that's what we were taught growing up, you know. Your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, grandpa help you out, parents. You got to take care of younger siblings. Even, I think I mentioned it on your podcast as well, where in Madagascar we had the Zuki Zandri thing where in the Peace Corps you come in, you're the Zandri, you're the little sibling, and then the older siblings, the people that have been there for like a year, 2 years, they're Zukis now, and they gotta go take care of the younger kids.
Yes.
Yeah, so I love that culture.
Such a simple concept, but then, you know, when you have like gatekeepers, that's such a like, shoo that kind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's not for Hawaii. You get that out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into our shishi break, I want to know a little bit about the history of the Angry Locals. Like, how did you guys all come together? What was the inception? How did you guys all meet? You guys are still tight to this day. How do you stay tight like that? You know, it's hard to, you know, have these deep friendships for years, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing business together.
Yeah.
But, you know, somehow you guys are still thriving.
Yeah, because we love it. You know, the Angry Locals was formed on laziness.
So you guys shouldn't have been called the Lazy Locals.
Long story short, Osna was, you know, he was a producer at the time. and we all were recording at his spot at different times of our lives. Like we just pull up to Osis whenever. He's always down to record a rap. So I would pull up, be like, I got an idea. I got a 16. I'll drop a 16 on a beat. All right, I'll come back and finish it, and then leave. Right, and then Mox would do the same. Mike 3 would do the same, and there would be a whole bunch of verses on random beats. Some have choruses, some don't, and it's just a bunch of incomplete songs.
That's like my note.
Yes. And then I don't know whose bright idea it was, probably Osis, to be like, hey, you know what? How's about like, if you're not on one of these beats, jump on it, write a verse, and we'll make an album together. Right? Like, hey, I need a verse here. Can you do this one? By the end of recording it all, we had like 17, 18 songs. And then we're like, okay, let's drop something. What do we call ourselves? And then I think Mox came up with the name Angry Locals. And the rest is history. It's just like one big cipher of guys rapping. And be like, let's do something.
It's like the Wu-Tang Clan, where you guys are all together, but you still do your separate things.
Yes.
But you still come together, and you're still the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes, exactly like that. And that's how we started. We just was having fun doing hip hop. You know, we all had the same direction. Nobody is with us, or a lot of people are against us. So let's just buck it and go forward against the grain.